Welcome back. Part 12. We're getting there slowly. We are getting there slowly. So I'm just working at the moment on, as I have been, the power plant. More of the aesthetic side a little bit now. And in the background there we've got the water tower started. I'm sort of had a bit of a thing overnight where I'm wondering whether this central stem part at the moment is just way too stiff, basically. And whether I need to go for my more organic look completely on the water tower, or whether we just adapt it slightly at this stage, because the full sort of organic factory I want to do at some point is going to be further down the line. This one is sort of just a small aesthetic, sort of a pleasing thing that sort of ties it in with the surrounding sort of, you know, stuff basically that's around, plants and everything else, colours. We're on the edge of the red forest. We've got these, unusual pod sort of type of things, and I'm just wondering whether, because I'm trying to sort of, keep the colour scheme as just I've actually ended up using copper in that leaf, and it looks pretty good. I've got to get lighting in there, but that's what we're working on at the moment. I want to create a sort of a bulb, well, not exactly a bulb, but a sort of a feature up here that's emulating light. So we'll have to see how we go. But I am wondering whether we can be a little bit cheeky. I'm not sure where this has planted itself actually. I've got to sort these blueprints out again in a bit. Excuse me. Flower headlights. So where did that save? Ah, there. It's because the words split up. It threw me off for a split second there. What I'm wondering, we're short on cookware. Before we start, let's head off and go and grab that. So I hope you all had a good weekend. I know the North Island here in New Zealand was hit by the cyclone. I don't know how bad it's been because the friend I've got up there, who I text, has not responded. So a little bit concerned about that, but I just wonder whether their internet's blocked off. But it is, of course, Monday here, so they will probably be manically busy. So as he's a headmaster of a school, so I'm expecting him not to respond till later today, but hopefully he's okay. Meantime, chaos still occurs in the globe, and more chaos is coming, but we're going to keep ourselves away from that here on the stream and just enjoy some Satisfactory. So the goal this week is to try and do a stream today, stream tomorrow, and then not sure when in the rest of the week I'll be able to stream, as the back end of the week has got rather busy. So I think we'll be through to next week again. So I'm going to do 2 streams this week at the beginning of the week. But you can always catch up, of course, anytime. Which is good. The good thing about YouTube, it stays there, which is nice. I think this will be enough time this is sorted. We'll should be able to go back and carry on building. But my goal anyway over the next 2 days, if I can, the goal is to complete as far as I can the coal plant and the water tower. I've decided in the end with this particular water plant, because of the way I've done it, I'm not going to turn it into a water packaging factory at this point. We can do that somewhere else, basically. And I've got some ideas brewing for that, for some organic builds. So that will come in time. But we need, obviously, certain things like packages and other stuff like that unlocked, which we don't have at this point. So that's one of the reasons why I've thought, nah, let's just at the moment stick with it, and being purely a supply to the a little coal plant here at the moment. And I'm hoping we can just tweak once we've got it properly sorted, and just, if we can, amp the power a little bit more if we are able. So we're just going to have to play that a little bit by ear. In the meantime, the smart plating is slowly chipping away, even though we've only got 2 machines on it. We are up to nearly 9,500 now, which is, amazing, really. Considering we haven't seriously actually attacked that yet, because the factory needs the power. So quite happy about that. I've looked at this coal plant now in different lights in Satisfactory through the processing, and we'll just head up there now. But it looks really, really good in the sort of twilight, nighttime period. When it's raining, it just absolutely looks great. And I haven't even finished the lighting yet, so as you'll see in a minute. We're getting there, slowly. There we go. So you can start to see the water tower on the left, power plant on the right. It's a little coal plant, just 8 refineries basically doing their thing, not refineries, whatever they are, generators. This will be gone. That one's going to replace it once it's finished. We're going to work on that today. I just want to initially see if we can get something done here to sort of finish this off, and that's what we're working on. We'll see where we go. I really need some ladders to get up. See any problem playing vanilla and not playing creative? There's one, everything isn't unlocked, and secondly, it's a right pain for building. And you forget when I've played so often creative mode. Can I get this to sit where I want it to? It's not going to turn, is it? Rotate how I want. No, it's only going to go the 90. Hey. Okay, well the other way then of doing that is we're going to have to build it more manually, I think, if we're going to do it. Yep. What I'm hoping to do. The other slight frustration I have with it is because of the increments, the way they're done, you can't get a true 45. It always goes one side or the other side, which is, again, one of those little niggles with building in Satisfactory. Doesn't happen with everything, but it happens with these pillars for sure. And yeah. Let's see what we can do, whether we can get this to go where we want. We might have to just try, see if we can nudge. Is that even sitting square? There, I can't tell. Let's go up. Let's just have a little look. Looks like it is. It's just a matter of whether we're getting the height correct. So that looks like the height there. Okay. That's too much, isn't it? You can see the problem with the off alignment. This is what happens. Let me just build that there and see how it looks though. Is it going to be a problem? Yeah, see the small and then the large. I don't like that. It's got to be even. Or ideally anyway. Ideally even. Let's start it off there and come down. It's way off, isn't it? That is the problem we have. I mean, you're not going to notice it, to be I mean, this is me being picky, because you are not going to notice it when it's up there, believe me. So maybe I should just get on with it and stop worrying. I've got that at a different height now. That's better. I am so pleased they brought the rain back. into Satisfactory. So pleased. Okay, let's. Where's my ladder? Just got to wire that up. So we go from here and we do the diagonals. I don't know whether actually this has got enough. No empty power slots, yeah. I'm too low a level, of course. Oh my word, okay. So how are we going to do this? We'll create another one. We'll do it around this side, like that. And what we'll do is create that to there. And we're going to do another one. Because now I don't know which ones are done and which aren't, of course. I should have thought about that as well before I did anything, which I didn't. Yeah, that's okay. I know the 4 main ones are done, and I think I've just accomplished one. Right, so that's that. So that should be able to go to there, that should be able to go there, that to there, that to there, and that should be all of them lit, I believe. I'm going to do that one just in case, but I think that's all of them lit. So, okay, save this thing. We can go over there and pop it in and pop it on, but there is a lot of little details I want to do added onto this. So on the architecture, the one thing I really enjoyed with using this for the leaf, doing the leaf stem, was it actually looked really cool. And I was thinking last night at about 4 o'clock in the morning, when I was woken up rudely by the road sweeper that comes around. It has this road sweeper comes around at about 4:30 down our road and around our block, and it has a absolutely penetrating sort of whining drone noise, and it wakes us up every flipping single time. And so in those moments, I start creating in my head ideas, and whether they will work is something else, but we can only try. So let's do a little thing here. Go up 10 meters. And we don't want these too consistent. We want a bit of randomness in them. So you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. When we work out what we're doing here. Sort of hope this is about right. We won't know until we've done it and whether it looks any good. It's one of those jobs. Let's do another one in there. What could possibly go wrong? Right, so what we want to do now is, and this is a bit fiddly, but hopefully hopefully it will work. We need that on freeform. And then we come to, I reckon, about there to start with. Let me go back, pop that into there, and I'm just going to colour that up so that we now follow the colour whenever I select it. Don't know whether this is going to work yet or not. I'm just trying a slightly different technique from what I did before, but okay, it's roughly working. Okay. Let's do one more to there. Delete that. Delete that. Like that. Now I came up with this crazy idea, and it may not work, so bear with us. Well, I sort of had two crazy ideas. The first crazy idea was to stick a blibbered vent on the end of this, lying flat if I could, if it was going to let me, and there will be a way of doing that, which is kind of nutty. The other idea was to stick one of these on the end and then stick lights around them, basically, so it's illuminated. And that was sort of the way my brain was going. So let's just put some foundations down here again so I can get some bit of height, because I'm struggling to see what I need to see. Yep, let's go over to here. So there's different ways of doing this. We could cap that with that to start with, do an unpainted, or we could paint it, in fact, the same bluey tone. Don't know whether that's going to go on there. I don't think it is. Okay, so the other way around that is that we do a concrete pillar. I don't know if that's going to be too big. I think it's going to be possibly too big. But then what I was thinking, you see, was you could do the signs. If I can get up there. And I think we're going to go for the blue. We'll try the blue. Bees like blue, don't they? And then I really want one on top, which means I need to come up higher. With one of my weird platform systems. There you go. Sort of like that. And then these will be like a pink flooding down onto the leaves. That's the idea. I reckon that would work, you know. I think it's, we could even, we want to go a little bit more detail. We could do these ones the pink. It might look awful, we could change it, it's not a problem, is it? You know, it's like, no biggie. But I think once it's in place, it would look pretty cool. Like that. And if you've got a load of those going around where these poles are, basically at different lengths and different sort of things, it will create a bit of interest. And from a distance, as is with all this stuff, it's the start of like the, you know, the pollen parts inside a plant. That's the idea anyway. Okay, well let's repeat and rinse a little bit with this and see where we get. I am wondering whether these are a fraction too long, whether I should have kept them shorter, like I'm doing now. Don't know. Might be smoother. It's not too bad though, and from a distance you're not really going to notice. Yep, that'll do. Take that one out. You gotta be kidding me. Rightio. So we're gonna come back one then. I'm not wanting to do this 300 times over. Hopefully it won't overlap. Got the one on top to do as well. There we go. That's alright. So let's just keep this saved so I don't mess up and lose it all. I'm intrigued to see what this is going to be like. I mean, might look totally stupid and not work, and then we have to sort of forget it. But it needs something, and we definitely need something above this as well. So to create almost like a more of a cluster in the middle of stuff. And I've got ideas for that. So we'll just not dissimilar to this, but slightly different. So goal today is to get this one done, and depending on how time goes, um, we may do the water tower and try and finish that tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes today. If this happens to work out pretty quick, like I get it done in the next hour, then we'll be able to carry on with the water tower. Good. Another one done. And it's a little bit open, I must admit, but again, I think from a distance you're not really going to notice. I mean, that's going to be right up there. I think it's going to be hard to see that. And ooh, have I got caught something? I do. Thank goodness for that. Save travelling back again. Again, I should probably spend some time um, between streams setting up a couple of vertical systems for the quartz, because that's basically like turning ore into ingots. So I should really do get a quartz mine going in that respect, and also for the caterium, at least into ingots, to save some time on the other build. So I think I'll try and do that over the next week before we stream again. I mean, obviously tomorrow I'll be streaming and I won't have time to do it before then. Excuse me. But once this coal plant's done and the water tower, then I'm hoping maybe I should just go off and do that quietly and get that sorted, just so that we've got easier access to some of those resources for going back and doing the smart plating build. And it just means then we're saving a little bit of time. There we go. That should be enough to finish this little piece off anyway, hopefully. But I actually think we'll need more for what I've got in mind in the middle here. There's a little bit more to go on that. Can we? Yes, we can. Just see it, which is good. These things we could also, I mean, here we don't have to stick to one. We can, do a number of them in a funny sort of little pattern around almost. We'll see what it looks like first, and then we'll decide. I can always add those later on and not in the blueprint necessarily. Okay. Hopefully there's a little bit of variation going on with these. Not a huge amount, but there is a little bit in terms of where they're heading. So yep, let's do it. Let's do it. One of the maps I worked on as a collaboration with a whole heap of other guys. We'd done a factory, sort of like a normal standard building, almost like mini factory. And then we had, and it was quite fun actually. We had, I then did a plant. I'm actually going to put that like that. Yeah, that would be all right, I reckon. And we had the plant sort of crawling over as if it was consuming the building, and then sort of like tentacles from it going into through windows and all that sort of stuff. It was pretty cool actually. It was good fun. Never got to finish that whole project actually at that point. Sometimes that's how it goes. A lot of those builders on that map were pretty cool actually. There was a few on there. A lot of them though I don't keep in touch now with. So a lot of, I don't know what it is with a lot of gaming, so maybe just me, my personality, but I find it very hard to cope with all the drama. Basically. But anyway, we carry on building. That is the key. I think that's going to work. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Oh, there we go. It's a bit odd the snapping on that. It does drop the pillar below often. You can occasionally get it and it goes. I haven't bothered playing with it enough to actually sit down and work out what key I can use to try and stop that happening, because I just find it just as quick to be honest, to be plonk them both in and then remove it. So a little bit of laziness I guess on my part there, but oh, come on, up you go. Old habits die hard again. You never learn. Right, save. Keep saving that blueprint. That's it. It's a little bit of time, a little bit of fiddle, but I think it will add something, you know. It's these builds do consume, and I mean I haven't even gone really sort of artistic in terms of the paint color or anything yet. I mean the most I've done is two-tone on here with the copper and then the blue. But you could, you know, as I said, I think at the last stream I could fade these very carefully in controlled, and it would take hours. But at the same time it would add something to it, and it's one of those little side projects one day I may go back to and do you know what I mean, just before I sort of do like a showcase video on it or something. I'll probably dump some pictures probably on Reddit or something once it's done, just of this section, and then keep doing that on each build that I do with it, so that people get a chance to have a look at some perhaps different stuff, you know. That's what we're aiming to do anyway, that's what we're hoping to achieve. Just to particularly for people who perhaps umming about whether they can get the game or whether they think it's worthwhile getting. I'm wondering whether we're going to be, might be right. and how much can you do with Satisfactory, etc., etc. And to be honest, as I've said from the beginning, really, the limits are your imagination. Once you understand how things like this can be manipulated or used to achieve stuff, then yeah, it's just down to you, really, as an individual. Obviously, being artistic helps. I do have I've had, some people say to me they could never do it. Well, you can. This is, it's vanilla build, there's no mods involved. Just got to work with it a little bit and have the patience. And keep saving to help your patience. Because when you stop saving and then it dies on you or something happens and crashes and you lose all your work, that's when you get really disheartened. That's where you get really disheartened. But no, it's coming along. Getting there, getting there. So that's, where are we? Just keep chipping away. Within a short time it will be then complete. These techniques can be used for literally doing any shape construction. So if you're sort of new to Satisfactory or whatever, then bear that in mind, that once you've understood how things can be manipulated a little bit and used in a different circumstance, perhaps from what it was intended, originally. And I think, to be honest, I think the devs have been completely blown away over the time period with Satisfactory, because they got to see so many people doing things that were different with Satisfactory, that they never actually intended. They basically thought it was just, people were just going to slap down big flat factories. And of course we didn't. And a lot of people didn't. And I think that sort of blew them away. Which is good, I've done a lot of sci-fi type big sci-fi type buildings. I'm going to be doing some more later on in the map, definitely. And the smart plating one, as you can see, when we get back to that, is pretty much. Oh, so okay, we've got a slight, so we're going to have to pull that one back. One. Hopefully it will still fit in there. So we will be getting back to some more, I wouldn't say traditional factories, but certainly. Oh, really? Really, really, really. I might have to just stick the light on that once it's in place, because that one it doesn't like, that one it doesn't like. Yeah, we're going to have to pop that one in, I think, after, because I don't really want it to go any shorter. It's a bit of a pain with the smallest blueprint maker. This is one of the things I rarely, in my other maps when I've been on creative mode, I've always used the big blueprint machines, and never really used the small ones at all, to be honest. Even if I'm making a small item, I'll generally still do it in the big, and the reason for that is It just means then that whenever I'm working with blueprints, if I start expanding the idea or doing something different, it's really easy. I can just keep going. Like here, there's a slight problem. Never mind, never mind, never mind. We'll get over ourselves about it. Or maybe we won't. Hi there, Katrian. I hope I've said that right. I'm a bit dyslexic, so you'll have to excuse my bad pronunciation. Nice to have you with us, mate. Or matette, if you're a female. But we're just working on, at the moment, I've got a smart plating factory which is being in progress over here at the moment in the distance. And then this here is my little coal plant, just a starter base one, basically, which has got 8 generators in them. And this is a temporary water tower that's going to be destroyed shortly. And this one over here is going to replace it when that's completed. And it will feed the water in, basically. And at the moment, we're just working on a little headpiece up here to get some light and sort of effects going up here, basically, into this section. I generally do quite different builds. I tend to sort of work on stuff that's not normal. But I like experimenting with some of the build techniques and stuff like that. As you can see, what I'm doing even now is perhaps not what you see every day. So it's just, yeah. But nice to have you with us. Close enough. Thank you. That's polite. Saying you totally screwed it, you mad otter. Thank you. I'm in Canada and it's almost 8 p.m. Oh, nice evening. Well, I hope you're well and all is okay as far as can be at the moment. Okay, we have run out of quartz. We're going to have to shoot back and grab some quartz. So we'll grab the hypertube. I'm in New Zealand and it's 10 to midday here. 10 to midday. So I'm sort of, I'm not a pro streamer or anything. I just do it as a bit of fun hobby, sort of on the side. But with, and I'm an artist in real life. So basically, what's happened with me is my studio is about 35-40 minutes away from where I live, and it's been consuming a lot of fuel. So I've had to basically pull back and only go to the studio 1 or 2 days a week at the moment, which suits what I'm working on in the paintings anyway, because I'm actually working with oils on some traditional sort of old master style landscape stuff and seascape stuff at the moment. So I can only work for a few hours and then have to leave it a week anyway before I can carry on. So it sort of at the moment suits what I'm working on. But it does mean I've got a reasonable amount of free time, so hence I've been streaming a bit more, which has been good. Meeting a few new people as well, which has been nice. is all good. It's pronounced like Katrina without the A at the end. Katrine. Well, there you go. Me too. I'm not an artist, but enjoy building pretty factories at the moment. Oh, awesome. Yep. It's so addictive. I mean, I've played Satisfactory now in total for about six to 7,000 hours from the beginning when it started out, and uh, I've only played through once fully, and after that I was in creative mode. So it's kind of I win 1.2. I then took about 6 months, 9 months off playing it, basically because I was semi burnt out, and also there is real life beyond Satisfactory. Um, but I was actually waiting for 1.2 to come out as well, and I was so excited when it came out. So I thought, right, let's start a fresh map, start vanilla, and man, I'm having to learn the hard way because when you're in creative mode, you're not having to think about anything. You're not having to think about power. You're not having to think about the amount of goods you need because you can just build and with no cost. And you got fly mode, so you can just easily access stuff and do stuff. And of course, now I'm scribbling around like a feels like a 2 month old baby, basically not knowing what to do, and I keep running out of stuff. And I'm like, oh man, got to go and get some more. So yeah, it's taking me back to when I first started. I have never played all the way through yet. Now's a good time to do so. 1.2 is a really good time to do so because uh, they've got the fluids sorted. They've got the fluid trucks and all that stuff going now. They've sorted out a lot of the niggles. It's pretty sound and solid now. Have I reduced the power? No. What I have done, so on this map, I've got random nodes, which has made it 10 times harder than the standard default map. Because basically what's happening is the map I've got so far that I've explored, I'm starting to try and list them as I go along and put markers down because they're so random. I can't anymore just have a cluster of something and go and say make an iron screw factory or something anymore. It doesn't work like that. So what we're going to be doing is building one sort of smaller factory at a time, and then we're going to have major logistics across the entire map to pull everything together so that we can actually start building the sort of late game components and that. So it's made it actually really interesting. On top of that, what I also did on top of random nodes, being the idiot that I am, I amped up the what's it called? Ah, this thing, space elevator. I amped up the space elevator components, as you can see by the top right of the screen, and like it used to be at this phase 2, smart plating was 2,500, and I've got to produce 50,000 of them. So yeah, you have a small YouTube channel as well, and you're working on a road system. Yeah, logistics. If you've got random nodes, logistics is going to be absolutely essential. That's something I worked out in like the first 10 minutes of putting on random nodes and wandering around the map a bit, and I was like, oh my word, yep, this is going to be fun. So it's just going to take a bit of time to get it sorted, but yeah. But the numbers for the space elevator are now huge. So if you're not prepared for a long haul game, I would recommend do not increase your space elevator amounts. Um, or if you do only by like 10 times or something rather than what I did, which was the top one, I think, um, which was just ridiculous because it's yeah. But I mean, as I say, because I've played it a lot, I wanted a bit of a challenge. So, and because I'm a slow builder as well, that's the other thing. Because I'm doing crazy sort of wacky builds and a lot of it's slow and experimental, it gives it time to produce goods while I'm actually working on those things. So it sort of works. My 1.2 save is 0.25 needs. Right, yep. 25, 0.25 needs and power. Yep. But if you're fairly new to Satisfactory, to be honest, it's not a bad way to go. You know, is reduce the amounts down and get used to the game and get a feel for it. Um, I think it's just when you've played for as many hours as I have, you just get to that point where like you've pretty much done everything you can. So it's kind of like, okay, how can I make this different? How can I make this more difficult? Um, and that's definitely one way of doing it. You've been playing for a few months now. Yeah, very addictive. It's a very good game. It's I have to say it's one of the few games I can spend so much time on. Most games I get sort of bored with or frustrated with at some point. Satisfactory is just kind of, I think it's, in my opinion, it just, and it's a personal opinion, of course, obviously. Um, I think it's one of the best games ever made. I really do. I think they've done such a good job with it. Um, Going into the future, I would love to see that we can uh, get a link to another planet, i.e., another map, and then sort of have components and everything being used, whatever's being made on this planet, and we can link the two through teletransportation or something. Do you know what I mean, sort of thing, and have different biomes and stuff. You know, perhaps snow and stuff and all that sort of thing. And for me, going ahead, that would be really really cool. But whether that ever happens or not, I don't know. That'll do for the moment. Well, I will just grab some more raw stuff, and then we've got some to take with us just in case. There we go. So this building here that we've just, you can see the framework of, these are construction platforms underneath, they're not going to stay. This is the smart plating factory, or what will be. At the moment I've only got 2 machines running out of 10, and potentially long term there could be 20 machines once everything is unlocked, because I need the big belts and all that stuff so we can get 1200 out of the mines and do stuff. But at this point there's 2 little machines chipping away, and it's done 9600 of the smart plating so far while we're building. But I couldn't build any further, and I couldn't switch on any more machines because we needed a little bit more power, so that's why I've gone off and done the little coal plant. Just enjoying learning. Yeah, it is. It's fun. The build mechanic. I have over 10,000 hours building in No Man's Sky. Right, yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed No Man's Sky too. Had some nice builds in there as well. Yeah, many years ago. Haven't played it for years though, I have to say. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting build. And then my minings, the way that I do my mines as well, a little bit different now. So I do these vertical builds, and this is only 2 stacks. Once you've got a pure node with maximum like belts unlocked and all that stuff, so you can get the 1200 out of the node, there will be 4 stacks, and that produces the amount. At the moment, we're limited basically because this belt is a Mark III belt and it can only carry 270 um, items at a time. So it sort of limits at the moment because we're obviously at the beginning of the stage. But that's what I've done. So they're all blueprint ones, and then I just stack them up. DLC maybe, yeah, it could be a DLC. I imagine it would be if they did it. I don't expect it to be a free expansion after sort of this. I think improvements to this map should always be free, and anything they add to this map should be free because that's just part of the sort of almost looking after your customers sort of type thing. Um, but I think if they do a different map, definitely I think that should be a DLC. Yeah, 100%. I think it's only fair and square then, and but I'd love to see it interlink so that it's still part of and not just separate, if you know what I mean. That's what I would love. So just like they've got the transporters now where you can teleport and the dimensional depots. So you've got the dimensional depots, that can effectively transport goods. What I'd like to have is a receiver, one that can be linked. And then if you've got a different map, a different DLC, you could have stuff being produced on this map and send it across to the next map. I don't know Planetcraft, I never played it. Would be fun though, in my opinion. So the only one I can't fit is those 2 or maybe 3 there. Yeah, it doesn't want it on there, or there, or there. So I'll have to add those after. Okay, couple more to do, and that'll be enough, and then we can go and try it out, or we can work on the center bit anyway. We'll try it out as it is first. We'll plonk it up there, just have a look, see what it's looking like, and whether these clash with anything. They shouldn't be, which they possibly will. So that's one thing we just need to check, and then the next thing we'll be doing the inner bit, which is going to be fun as well. So see how we go, eh? It has different planets that you can get with a DLC. Right, okay. Yep. I've been playing a little bit of Star Rupture recently. I haven't done any streaming on that yet, but it's quite cool. I quite like it. I would say it's not as creative by any means um, as Satisfactory. And that for me is one of the really sort of cool aspects of Satisfactory is the creativity side of it because It allows me to do my arty thing while still having the technical side as well, of getting your numbers right and trying to get 100% efficiency on your factories and stuff, which is good, which I like doing. I think that went too low. Might be the angle though. I'll have a look in a minute. I'll have to get up. So. Oh no, it's okay. It is just the angle. Okay, one more to go, and then we can try this beast out. That will do. I think I might even leave that on that length. And we'll stick the bits on. Rightio. Save. Or I forget and lose it all. I've watched a few people play it, and I'm not convinced that I want to buy it. Oh, hi Mac. How you doing, mate? Hope you're all well. Let's go and stick this up and give it a trial test just to see how it's sitting, and then we can do the next part of it, which is the real inner middle bit. Now this is where it gets a bit trickier. So I have to glide down and around onto the leaf, and then I can jump up. And up the leaf. So let's try and see what this is going to look like, whether I've messed it up, because we don't have enough materials. Typical. All that excitement to lay it down and I can't. We've got to go and get some reinforced plating and do some more quartz again. Dear. Apologies for being tardy to school. I love it. No, you're fine, mate. I mean, if I was like a proper, if I was a real streamer and actually had a schedule, then I could tell you off for not being here on time. But I just randomly do it, so do not worry at all. Where are we? Okay. Okay, that's that. Just need to make sure we've got enough of the quartz now. I so need to get a little quartz thing going, so just produce it for me, because this is just mad each time. I only got 240, that'll take me up to 500, so let's produce that and then I'll have to go down and do some more. It was Mac who told me about you. Thank you. Yeah, Mac did mention me the other day in a stream. He said to me that someone with cat in the name might join. Without mentioning names, I'm finding those you alluded to scattered around the globe. Yes. They are very scattered around the globe. But there are some mini builders, small creators. I mean, I don't know what their YouTube channels are like and stuff, or the Twitch channels and stuff generally, but they're small in terms of the Satisfactory community. And there's some really cool builders out there. It's just finding them, which isn't always easy. Not enough space. Okay, let me get rid of that. And let me do that and do that. That should hopefully produce a bit more room. But yeah, just keep hunting. They're out there. Then there's the big name ones, of course, but I generally don't watch any. But the only person I generally will occasionally watch now out of the big names is Fluxo. The rest I don't. Just because of the politics often that's involved behind the scenes and stuff I don't like. And Flux actually got kicked in the head by the whole thing as well. I think it got sorted in the end, but it was a bit of a tough ride for him. So I felt a bit sorry for him, particularly when he was a big streamer himself, and he was still getting kicked in the head basically by a lot of other stuff. So there was a bit of politics going on, but that's why I walked away from it all. I was just like, nah, don't want that. And that's when I started hunting out, and I found out some really cool people, some Japanese builders and some French and German, and couldn't understand a word they were saying. But their builds were really very cool. So we'll just get this quartz cracked out. We'll just need a couple more hundreds on the quartz, and then we can pop that middle section in and have a look at it. Make sure it's not clashing with anything, and proportionally is sort of about right. And then we're going to make like a cluster bulb part of light that goes in the center of that piece itself. That's going to become part of that blueprint. And that's probably going to use a lot of quartz, so I'll probably have to come again and sort out my inventory so that I can fit everything in. But we will get there, we will get there. And then you'll get to see the update on the crazy build, the Mad Otter build. Not this one. This one's in work in progress. Just trying to sort out the power first, so we can actually get some more machines running, which is what we're working on. But it's coming along. The power plant, I have to say, it's starting to look pretty cool. I just need to sort another 100 quartz for short. Can you believe? This random node map though is It's an absolute hellhole for starting out, I have to say. But I can imagine once you've got your logistics in place and stuff, it's going to be a lot of fun. Um, but if you're not a patient sort, don't do it. No, I really encourage to do it. It's a lot of fun. Um, a lot of fun. Let's just make sure we can get there. How much is coming out of this? 174. Ah, yep. We'll go back. We'll head back then. And you can see the updated version of what we're doing. I'll check chat again in a minute once we get in the hypertube. And as you can see by the top right of the screen as well, the objectives for the space elevator have been maxed. Oh, I did that wrong, and I've just wasted my time. There we go. So phase 2 normally on a standard default setting is 2,500 smart plating, and mine is currently 50,000. Which is kind of nuts, but it is what it is. But we've done 9,700 already, so you know, it is what it is. Right, what have you put? By your teaching, I'm counting on Katrine or one of her friends to build me my elusive unloader. Yes. So are you playing a multiplayer map at all together? Mine was 13 smart plating. Don't tell me that. You're just going to drop in, aren't you, every now and again through this whole build and just keep reminding me. Mine's only 13 smart plating. Right, so basically, for anybody watching, lurking in the background who doesn't know what I'm doing at the moment, this is a little starter coal plant with 8 generators. This was the temporary water tower which is feeding it at the moment. We're going to be building, as you can see over here, another water tower which will actually eventually feed this. At the moment we're working on a little center cluster of lights which are going to fit inside here, and there's another section in here of all loads of stuff that I'm going to do there to bring light just for the hell of it. But we're just going to do a temporary test of size to make sure that I've made that okay in terms of fitting within up here. So that's what we're doing. So we're just going to do a little test run, have a little look, see what happens, and try not to kill myself in the process. Alright, seems a bit bizarre climbing up then, but then I can get onto this leaf and then I can climb up. These ones I changed from painted copper with the blue edges. From a distance looks quite nice. Sort of suited the coppery colour in these bulbous plant things. There's like that one over there that just beyond the smoke. Anyway, let's try this, see what it's going to do. I might try... Is that going to work? No, it's not going to work. I'm going to have to do default. Okay. I think we've got a little bit of clash going on, unfortunately. So this is where I need to work stuff out. Not too bad, it's literally just this one by the look of it. Let's just plonk that in a second and build it. That is sitting correctly, so that's okay. We can change that to copper anyway, so it's matching. But it looks like it is just that one. I think the others have all cleared it. Now the question will be is how do I know which one that is in the blueprint? So, I mean, we could just take it out here and literally physically remove it. Or I can redo it. It's going to be nearest. Okay, let's try and work something out here. So the yellow side of the light controller is the tallest one on that side. Okay. Let's go and have a little look at it from a distance anyway and see what it looks like. I mean, it seems quite obvious here. It might be that one there actually by the look of it. It is quite a bit taller than the others. It's a bit nuts, isn't it? I mean, my builds tend to be, but I don't know whether those cubes are too big. Thanks for a close-up of the leaf. Yeah, no, you're welcome, mate. If you look at I think it's the previous stream I did, you'll actually see me building them and how I did that. Your next power challenge will be rocket fuel. Yeah. Yeah, I like rocket fuel. Rocket fuel's a load of fun to build. I'm way, way, way off that. With these phases being so large, it's going to take me a long time, but that's cool because I'm a slow builder doing these bizarre builds, so it gives me time to actually do stuff, basically, play around. I'm just wondering whether these are too big, and the blue is just like too big, and whether I need to do them smaller. What I mean by that is instead of having, well, first of all, this one here needs to come out, doesn't it? So we maybe delete that. Because it looks like it actually needs to be brought up sharper. So what we'll do, is we will in fact come to, where are we? We'll come to there, do default, go up to 10 meters, and then we can rearrange it slightly. But what I'm thinking here is maybe rather than these large ones like this, we could do maybe, I mean, I'm making work for myself, of course. Something a bit more random like that, and have those blue medium, blue medium, blue medium, and maybe not go to a 3 but to a 2 in glossiness. Control C, Control V, Control V. Control V. Sort of like that. I wonder whether that would look better. Just as a And it can be more random, you know. Doesn't have to be all the same on each side. This might look horrendous as well. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to try it. A bit more of a fiddle to set up, of course. Right, that's alright. Won't take too long. What do you reckon? I reckon that might look a bit cooler actually. I'll have to get some done and put it up there and have a little look. Well, I'll tell you what we could do. Yeah, okay. Let me just quickly fix this one. Freeform. I'm going to actually just change the way I do that. From that to there. Like that. No lift required. I love seeing such a creative building. Thank you. Appreciate that. Just a thought, have you considered these portions being more vertical, like in a tulip? Yes, I have. Because in the centre, there's going to be a whole cluster of stuff going up. So I needed something just more out on the sort of peripherals. Originally, I wasn't going to do these concrete pillars. Originally, it was going to be the small little thing, this one here covered. But I haven't found, unless I can do that, I haven't found a way of attaching it. That was the problem. And maybe I just need to actually get on, not be an idiot, and actually do it like I know how to. But it doesn't really want to attach. That was what I found, was it was problematic in the way it was wanting to snap. I couldn't get it to snap how I wanted on anything. That's the other thing. I mean, we could do something like this to lower it down completely in terms of the amount and just do... That was a bit of an awful snap one. Again, doesn't like the thing. Doesn't like the angle, you see. It always wants to default to... But again, you're not going to really... I mean, you're not going to notice these. Do you know what I mean? It's like... This is the other option. We go like this. And let's put in a pink there, just to be bizarre. Or maybe actually copper, because we've got this. We said needs to go copper. Oh, it doesn't change to copper. Ooh, okay, interesting. What is that? Is that the... Ah, it's the middle one. That's why, not the concrete. Let me change that to the concrete. It's not going to let me now, is it? Ay. Okay, I'm going to have to do that from above, I think. So concrete, hopefully there. Yeah, there you go. concrete, pull that out. Then that should, yes, go to the copper. Thank you. So it might be that it'd be better to do these smaller ones on these and then have the cluster, big cluster. What I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to save this. Oh, get rid of that. Save, confirm. We're going to scoot over there, redo it, and have a look and see which one we prefer the distance of. Whether the small one or the medium, the scattered one, or the fat chunkies. And we can have a little look. There we go. Yeah, so these leaves I created with the little spine, basically going down, and then you have to set up sort of pinpoints across where you want your leaf, the shape of the leaf to go. But as I say, if you watch Katrine, the other video, you'll get to see exactly how I did it. So let's delete that, and then hopefully that one's spinning around a bit. Interesting. Let me see if I can line that up. Is it seriously not going to allow me to line? There we go. Okay. Well, that didn't work, did it? Okay, it's actually spun round. I'm going to try again. That's not the way it was. It was that way. Right. Let's just move this across. There we go. Attach. Let's have a little look. So we'll come over here, because I think we might get a better view there. I think the random one's too much almost. I actually think the little small one might be better, particularly once we get the middle section, because once you see the middle section, then it'll be like, oh yep. Because there's going to be quite a bit in there. Oh, typical me, falling off stuff. Yeah, I think the little one's going to be a little bit better. It's just like a little gentle, particularly at night time, because it's going to stand out more at night time. What I need to do as well while I'm there, actually, just quickly, is to switch the power on, see those other lights on, see whether they're working. So let's do that while we're up here as well. So we've got the power. There's a power, which goes to that one. That one needs to then come down and link up to the power in here. Which is there. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Are they on? Yep, they are on. Okay, let's have a look at this now. Just an option, blurted out. Smaller one wins my vote. Yep, no, I agree. That's my opinion too at the moment, just based off that. Yeah. And what I'm thinking of doing in the middle, just to give you a rough, quick sort of idea, is I'm thinking of producing, if I can get up, come on, come on, you can do it, you can do this, yes. I'm thinking of producing a series of these, all sticking up vertically, almost like a crystallization thing. That's what I'm thinking of. So the way that would occur would be I would be using pillar in free form, and then just, oh, where is it going to snap to anything? Whoa, okay, there we go. So I'd be bringing it up at, let me try the diagonal to start with, just to give you an idea. So I'll be doing something like this. Come on. Etc, etc. But then having these like this with the light on them. Why is that not going at the angle? That is very bizarre. Okay. But it doesn't matter because these things will then be deleted with afterwards. So basically you'll just end up with a cluster of these things doing the colours. That's a very basic idea at this point in time. I have no idea what it's going to look like. Control C, Control V, and it'll just be a whole cluster of them all around basically to yeah, and we may vary the heights. We might sort of do this sort of stuff to them, you know, so they're all different slightly, etc, etc. Just have them like a load of shards almost coming up. And then but eventually it'll form like a 3D effect basically. That would be lovely. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Here's to hoping. So let's delete these then and do what we did with the small one. This is the fun part of Satisfactory in many respects. As long as you've got the patience, this is part of the fun part, is just trying things out. And trust me, a lot of the stuff that I've played around with doesn't work. But you just get to a point where you know you eventually find something that does, and it's really cool when it does. I don't know. on there. See, here we go again. Come on. Are we able to get up on that? Hey, too far. Too far. It doesn't want to default from the thing. The snapping point is weird on these sometimes. I don't know why it does that. See, most times, like this one worked perfectly fine. That one worked perfectly fine. This one suddenly doesn't want to. It's just really, really odd. It's one of the frustrations of building weird stuff when you're so reliant on snapping points. Take those out. See, that one works. Snap in. What's wrong with this one? I ask. Let's see if I can do it off a taller ladder. There you go. Just need to be at the right angle. I'll put another one around the back when I get up the top, and I'll do them all at the same time then. Meantime, let's just delete. Yeah. Yeah, I think these. I felt when I was putting these on that they were going to be too bulky. I had that sort of in the back of my head, and seeing them up there, I am like, yeah, I think it's just a bit too bulky. They almost needed to be quarter of the size, basically. But that's all right. I'm going to need to do my ladder thing, I think, again. Oh no, there we are. Just need to be at the right, correct angle for that to work. Hello. You. Had a nice walk this morning with my wife through the domain locally, the park. There's beautiful gardens there. It's just starting to turn at the moment to autumn, so flowers are nearing their end, but there's still the odd nice stuff out, which is really cool. Kind of gives me inspiration, you know, when I come back on here, and then when I'm sort of like doing stuff, I'm like, ah, yep. If you look at flowers closely, they're quite abstract actually, you know, they're quite random in terms of, well, they're not random, I mean, they're part of the Fibonacci number sequence thing, which is not random at all, but when you look at the way it's sort of put together, it's yeah, it's fascinating. And all the little pollen stems and stuff, it's quite cool. Is it going to let me do this or not? There we go. Nope. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's let me do all the far ones, but it won't let me work close up. Weird, eh? Come on. It's really, really bizarre how that happens. Oh, yeah. Oh man, just get this done and then we can pop it up there again and have another good look. There you go. Awesome. Right, I'm going to leave those couple of upright pieces there for the moment. Is there anything else I don't need in here that I've stuck on? No, the ladder's outside. Ladder's outside, that's okay. So save, blueprint, okay. Let's go back and delete that one and replace. Right. If all else fails, what do they say? Try again. All else fails, try again. This needs to come down, and it needs to go into that there. And I believe that will give us light. Let's go and have a look. Let's have a little look from a distance. That's better. So the question here is now, you see, is whether I do blue lights coming down instead of the pink. So we'll need to test that out. Or whether we go more of a white. And that's another test. So we'll have to work through that. I'm enjoying finding other small builders to hang around with and exchange ideas. Yeah, no, it's the way to go, Katrine. There's some cool people out there. I've managed to collect 74 Mercer spheres and 53 summer sloops. Good grief. Even I haven't done that yet. Katrine, you are far better on the computer internet than me, but one way that helped me find our friend here and others is to look at subscriber counts and professionalism in wording. Oh dear, don't look here then. I'm dyslexic, mate. We are getting ready for spring planting here. Nice. Quick question when you have a moment. Go for it, mate. You just roll it. As I've said to you, I've actually got my phone up now with the chat on that. So it's a bit easier running off than doing the one screen and tabbing out all the time. So I'm going to try it with blue lights, and then we'll try it with clear lights, and then we will do the cluster in the middle and work out what we're going to do there with that color. So we'll just do a couple of combination checks, color checks, see what it looks like, and go from there. And you can pop your comments down and see what you think. Give me a vote of rubbish, rubbish, or really rubbish. I think I've come down too low now. Oh, come on, up, up, up. Yeah. Oh, hello, container. Okay, we're going to have to get rid of some stuff to get rid of that. I'll get rid of 2 wood. I don't need wood. Quartz I do need, so I'm going to keep that. Wire. 68 wire can go. There we go. Now we've got a random container sitting there. I had one builder did, this is going back probably about 18 months, 2 years ago. And it was a huge big build. It was and I have this obsession with, I hate containers being left on the map, and I have actually got one at the moment over there, far over, which I've got to go and sort out at some point. And but it was in the middle of this huge big building I'd done, and could I find it? I hunted for days, literally, trying to find it. Right, so this is going to be blue lights. So we had the pink before. Oh, no, it has not changed it. Why has that not changed the blue? Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Why has that not changed? That's because I'm an idiot. Yes, well, okay. Let's go from here down to connect the lights. How's that going to work when that one doesn't want to do? Is that one no empty power line? Okay, so this is the problem of being only at phase 1 and having limited stuff. That's why that was going around there. So maybe I need to do it that way. And then this comes down to that one. That might work. That looks like it's blue. No. It still looks pink to me. It is still pink. What is going on? Houston, we have a problem. Ah, there's some blue light. Let me just check around the other side. We have blue lights. Okay, so we had pink, and now we have blue. I quite like the blue actually. I do quite like the blue actually. I like that a lot. Plays off the copper a bit more. Creates a misty look, which is almost replicating down here, which is nice. Is there a way to save loose items like power slugs, barriers, etc. in a blueprints? I've tried and can't make it work. No, not that I know of. Um, there may be a mod if you're not playing on experimental build mode like I am. You may find that there is a mod that would allow you to do that, but I haven't researched it. The best way to save stuff if you really want to is use a dimensional depot, because what you can do then, in case you're unaware, you probably know this though, is basically when you dump one of these down and you've got the thing unlocked, it then shows up in your inventory at the side, and you can just pull from it and put it in. And it may be that you can do that, stick them in, because I know you can save berries, inventories, and slugs, and I think that would be the only way of doing it. Let's do dimensional depot, unlock that. Yeah, yeah, a doggo kennel. That would be the way to do it, I believe, is probably the only way to do it, unless you just have a crate sitting there that you keep topping up. But the dimensional depot, once you've got the bits unlocked, so let's just, if you go into, where are we? MAM, yes. When you go into the MAM, hard drive has been deleted. I've forgotten all about it. I don't like any of those. Ooh, don't like any of those. Oh well. Whatever. So when you come into here, alien technology, when you've got these unlocked, this is the next one to unlock. Enables uploading from inventory. And what you should be able to then do is just drop them from your inventory into one of these. And basically then you can take it in and out as you desire anywhere on the map. As long as you've got one of those around, you can do it. But just make sure you've got this stuff basically unlocked. That will help. I've got a way to go on this yet, so stuff I need to at some point concentrate on. And Catherine, that's where your Mercers are going to come in useful. Your million Mercers you've already collected. It's going to be for unlocking all this nonsense, because you need loads of them. 23, 23, 13. It's huge amount. It's like you need about 100 of them, I think, which I think you've just about got. So you pretty much can unlock all this alien technology pretty quick, I would imagine. Which is good. Yeah. Oh well. Onwards and upwards. I think the blue works. I like the blue actually. I think it's I think it's okay. Hello, wet hog. Um, I've just got to work out that centre bit and whether this upright thingy majiggy stuff here is going to work or not. You know, it'd probably be that high and just start to come around all the way around, basically, shards of it. I don't know whether it would be just too much or whether I need to go a different route completely. And this is me with my brain, unfortunately, the way it goes. I start coming up with all sorts of crazy nonsense. The other idea that we could do, note default diagonal. Oh, yo, 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 yo. Oh, for a jetpack. Well, I mean hover pack actually, not jetpack. I really, really wish, and I mean it seriously, I really wish they would unlock the hover pack and have it available in phase one at the end of phase one, so that when you get building like the buildings I'm doing, it would be so much easier just floating around being able to build it. But admittedly, not everybody's doing crazy nutty builds like I do. Most are doing flat factories. You should have lots of time to go exploring while you're waiting for your smart plates to be finished. Thanks, rub it in. Yeah. Hey, even while we've been talking, it's gone up to 10,000. Only 40,000 to go. And then I've got to do a versatile frame factory after. I haven't even finished, got it close to finishing the smart factory plate. There's only 2 things working on it out of all the like 10. That was the whole point of coming over here and getting some power so I could actually put some more on. And then I got sidetracked by doing the leaves. And originally I was just going to leave it as the coal plants, and then I was like, no, actually I want to make this look pretty. So I started playing and then got distracted totally. So it's what happens with my brain. My wife's always telling me off. Well, in a nice way, not in a horrible way, but she's always saying to me, my brain goes off in so many tangents. One thinking here, we've got a number of options. We can either go and do this like this with these again, doing the same thing again. Oh, no, yes, no, yes. Like this, except we need default. And we need to be at a very specific angle, otherwise it doesn't do it. Oh, come on, you swine pig dog. Is this your monkey? Is this your dog? Okay. It's not wanting to play ball again with me. So we either do now like a cluster of these, literally like a round globy cluster, take a hell of a lot. Maybe I should do that off stream. It might just take way too long. And we could probably... Let's do the blue on the outside and leave the insides pink. And we could actually do on the inside as well, if it's going to play ball. See, why does it do one okay and then doesn't do the other side even? I do not understand. There's some game mechanics in Satisfactory that I just don't get. After all the hours, literally, I've played, like, you know, 6,000 odd hours, and I still haven't learned why certain things. It's like it's a user problem. But I think that look. I mean, I saw all this out. This glitching and stuff won't happen. But I'm just saying, just trying to get a quick view on it. We'll actually just pop that down. And can we do no, 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 no? Yes. See, and that one needs to do the same. Like that. There you go. It's night time and it starts to look cool. Look at those lights now coming out and the rays. This is what I was wanting. It's starting to get where I want it to be. It looks cracking. I love it. This whole game is a big distraction. You're so right about that. Distraction, diversion, delay, then ultimately delusion. Oh yes, it's the way of the artist. But seriously, look at those lights. I mean, this is now starting to go into my territory of how things should start to look. I'm actually going to do. I love this photo new setting as well. This is absolutely flipping awesome. And I mean, look at this monkey. Let's do that because that hides the water tower that's going to be deleted. Perfect. Move out a little bit. Take a photo. Love it. Yeah, that's cool. Yep, I like that. Very pretty. Semi-mechanical, semi-organic. That's where we're going with this, and I like it. Just got to work out this side of it. Strong yet subtle. Yes, yeah, exactly. And that's always the balance, even in artwork, generally, is that something has an impact but isn't so rudely in your face that it takes away all the little, the nuances. And this is the beauty of Satisfactory. The one thing I love about Satisfactory that they really, really got right, in my view, is one, the map, but also the lighting. The lighting is absolutely stunning. And it's one of the things we've seen grow over the time of Satisfactory, from the time it started through to obviously now 1.2, and when they introduced the what's it called, ocul, whatever it is in the options. Um, let's see if we've got it here. Global illumination. Once they started doing all that stuff, um, it all changed, you know, and it became incredible. Now in the swamp, yeah. Well, I've got ideas for the swamp, the real swamp on the map, which is over here somewhere, I think, from memory. That swamp is a very interesting place, very dark, um, with the big spiders. Um, it used to be a good nuclear place because there was sort of half the components for nuclear production were there. Um, and I've always sort of said when I get back to doing a nuclear plant again, it may well be in that location. But it depends if another factory takes my fancy in there. And when I get over there and see what nodes are there, then I'll make a decision. Um, but yeah, the atmosphere in that area is incredible for gameplay, for building and for lighting effects and stuff. It's just really, really awesome. And this is all vanilla. So there's nothing I'm doing here that's out of the ordinary. This is all straight out the box. I haven't even got my favorite mod because I'm not able to use it at the moment because it is an experimental build mode, which is the infinite nudge, and I do love that mod. Um, so this is pure vanilla. But yeah, no, that's looking cool. Okay, so onwards, we have to work out what I'm actually doing. um, I don't understand why I can't just do what I normally do. Let's try a different one, see if that will work. Maybe it won't. Well, there's an idea. Okay. So I'm just doing something a bit crazy here for a second, or more crazy than normal. Um, I would like you to. Yes, thank you. Right, so if we change all these to pink, 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 pink. If I stick the light on, it might help. You might be able to see what I'm doing a little bit more because I know it's not always the same when you're watching stream to when you're actually doing it. Now, what I'm thinking with this is, can we do something crazy still with the lights over this? And how would that look in clusters? Does it matter if they're sticking out? Probably not. Maybe that would be a better way of doing them. Is it going to let me get that little one on there? Come on. Ay, 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 ay. There you go. So let's take that off. Oh, it's so picky sometimes. Sometimes when you're trying to do stuff. Slightest bit of angle and you can be getting the wrong thing. And look at this now, you see, here it lets us go half off, this one doesn't. So I'm going to have to do that to do it. Which makes twice as much work. But we're not afraid of work. Otherwise we wouldn't be doing this build in the first place. I know it looks a bit silly, sort of random up close, but you get that in a whole cluster, which is the way I'm thinking of going with this, of course. Can we get up there? Nope. Get up on top of that first. Then can we get up? Yes, we can. Ooh. So picky. Okay, let's have a little look. A little bit of a distance. Too fussy, too crazy. Yeah, not doing it for me, but anyway. Thank you again for your stream. It's such a pleasure. And Katrine, I'm thrilled you checked our friend out. I must sign off respectfully, Mac. You have a normal crazy. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, good night, Mac. Have a good sleep. And we will catch you again, my friend. And hopefully by time you see the me next, this should be, hopefully this madness, this insanity will be sorted. Either in my case or the build's case. Either way. Yeah, I don't like this. This isn't doing it for me. Sorry. I think I've got to come up with another solution. So let's just switch that over for a moment. We need to take that down there, stop that Z fighting stuff going on. Same with this one. So let's get rid of these for a second. That was the old idea, I think. I still like the idea of this in terms of the pillars doing the thing and sort of replicating what we've got on the outside with this concept. But I've just got to work out how we illuminate, do illumination thing at the top. And we'll have obviously more of these random things around, so there's like a whole cluster of them. Excuse me. Overall, I'm pleased with the idea, and I love this concept, and it looked particularly spectacular in the nighttime shot, which was the goal. So we're heading in the right direction. I've just got to get this cluster in the middle ready so it's sort of viewable up here somewhere. And that's what I am trying to get my head round at the moment. I'm going to say good night as well. Thanks for the stream and hope to catch you next time. Yep, nice to meet you, Kat. And yeah, check out the previous stream if you want to see how I actually did those leaves step by step. It's all on there. I did the small ones and the big ones are the same thing, just done on a larger scale. You can make these edges really neat and smooth as well, which I didn't do deliberately because I actually quite like that sort of ragged leaf look. But yeah, there are ways of doing it. And we've yet to do all the sort of tentacle parts, particularly on the water one. We'll probably do that more, but we'll do the tentacle because the piping that's going to be coming down is going to be more organic to replicate a more natural sort of vine almost type scenario. So that's going to be a bit more fun. But meantime, we're just trying to get this knuckled out. But I've just got to, yeah, it's a bit of a pain. Bit of a pain. It's simply because I don't know what I'm doing. Because they just, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. It's a right nightmare, that is. It's normally on default. Normally on default they literally will snap into the right position like these ones eventually did. Sometimes they just do not want to go. And I don't know why. If anybody knows a trick for that, I mean, I've done 6,000 hours in Satisfactory and I always find little things that are weird in building. And it's mainly because I'm building weird. I mean, if you build normal flat factories, you're never going to have this problem. But for me, it's just not going to do it, is it today? It is not going to do it. I wonder if there's another way around it. Maybe we could put a pillar. Default is still going up. It's not following the same rules. But maybe we can cheat it by doing that. And that. And that's probably about the right height, actually. We can colour that pink, and then we just have to work out a final cap. But maybe that's where we can just do, and these aren't going to sit correctly again, are they? No, so we might as well do them all random. I just don't think it looks like a sort of a head. Do you know what I mean? It's like those like little pollen heads. Yeah, I mean, if I really want to do that, I mean, yeah, we could. I wonder, what can I use, what can I manipulate to work in my favour? Sometimes it's stuff you don't think about that can look okay. That's looking more sort of what I'm trying to achieve slowly. I'm just wondering whether, if I get up here, whether I can put the other one on the top, whether it'll let me. No, too far away anyway. Okay, we'll try and get up. Oh, just dump a ladder. Just dump a ladder, you mad otter. Not high enough. All else fails, try again. So it's not going to let me go on there. So I don't think that lets me either. Very frustrating. Now you're talking crazy. What else have we got that we can manipulate? This one's going to give me a headache. I think I will need to work on that offline because it's going to be way too picky, and I need to come up with some creative solution to the problem with the limited stuff we have. So I'm going to leave that one like that, I think, for the moment. Let's just save that. We've got the basic concept up. The lights look stunning at night, which is great. We get all the rays coming down through here, filtering, and it looks absolutely beautiful, which is what I wanted. So we are pretty much en route. The way we want to go. I think this is just going to take a little bit more nutting out to get it right. And then once it's done, we can get it up there again, and it will, yeah, hopefully by tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm doing another stream tomorrow. And this week, that will be it for this week, because I've got other commitments at the end of the second half of this week, basically. So this week it will be Monday, Tuesday, and then we'll go from there. But I'm hoping I will knuckle this out, hopefully by tomorrow morning, and come up with a solution. So it's up there, and then we can crack on and do the water tower tomorrow. That is the goal. That is the goal. Can't see. Yeah. Yep, okay. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to leave it at that point. Um, so thank you for watching. Thank you for lurking. And I do appreciate it. And the chat as well with Mac and Katrin. And nice to meet them. Well, hopefully what I'm doing inspires some of you anyway and gives you little tips as I go along so that you can experiment and build yourself and do crazy things. You do need time and you do need patience. I will tell you that now. Um, because these things are pernickety and you have to often try them and retry them and redo them, numerous times to get it to a point where it's working how you want it or the lighting is working how you want it. So all of those sorts of things take time, and that's part of Satisfactory and the beauty of it as well. Um, but yeah, hopefully it inspires, and that's the goal. Well, you guys have a great rest of your week. I hopefully will see you tomorrow. I will be on, but all being well, and hopefully you guys can manage to pop in again and say hi, or just lurky in the background if that's your thing. And take care. Stay safe in this crazy world.